Hello, everyone. This is Daikaiju Space. Well, no. Hello, everyone. I am Joey Ray McGee, and aka the Daikaiju Spacezilla. Today, we're gonna discuss Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad movie. Not sure how many of you seen the 2016 one. Been years since I've watched it myself.
Don't.
But I do. Yeah, but I do remember enjoying it back in the day, but it's been so long, I cannot review it now.
Don't. Just don't. Save yourself the time, please.
Yeah, because
don't do that to yourself. You deserve better.
I'm gonna trigger
my
Pharaoh
opinions
real
may
quick.
change on rewatch, so yeah. Anyway, you guys introduce yourself again for those who did not join for the last stream.
Hello, everybody. My name is Galix.
And I'm the Forgotten Pharaoh. Pleasure to meet y'all.
I'm gonna trigger Pharaoh real quick. 2016 Suicide Squad wasn't that bad.
I hate you both. I lost some respect for both of you right now. I like you, but I've lost some respect for the both of you.
I remember it being fun. It wasn't the best thing ever, but I do remember it being a good time, with that being said.
Yep. That movie feel like it didn't actively hurt me, but I just didn't enjoy it. And the bare minimum of a movie is I want to be entertained, and I wasn't entertained. I'm like, this movie's awful. I hate you. Not you guys specifically. It's like the people going behind this movie. I just don't like what you guys did. I don't like this final product.
Understandable. Like I said, it's been years since I've watched the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, so I don't really have as much of an opinion on it now, considering since I didn't really have much of an opinion on it at the time. Actually, I did have an opinion on it at the time. At the time, I liked it. What the fuck am I saying?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's approaching around, but I'm pretty sure it's free on HBO Max now. So if people want to watch it, you can. I will opt for just don't. There is a far superior version of this movie, and it is the one we've just seen.
Not according to some people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. By memory, I do remember the new version of Suicide Squad being superior to the 2016 one, though I don't remember much of the 2016 Suicide Squad, so my memory on it is a little weak, because it's been a while.
Your brain is trying to save you. It knows it wasn't good, so it's just pushing it out of your memory.
Most I remember from it is Joker looks fucking terrible, and Harley Quinn's outfit was pretty nice.
That's basically the movie. That's basically all that came out of that movie anyway.
I'm actually kind of like forgiving Jared Leto's performance as Joker in Suicide Squad due to his performance in Snyder Cut's Justice League. If you guys have not watched it, then we got one more.
Greetings.
Hello.
I do remember Jared Leto's performance as the Joker being great, but I do not remember much. But his his overall look, he does not look like a clown.
Yeah, they went with the gangster route, which is not what Joker is. He's not a gangster.
Comic-wise, Joker has been a gangster sometimes. I'm pretty sure that's where he first popped out as. He was a mob boss who just did really silly crimes. And in the old Tim Burton 80s movie, he was a mob boss first who then became Joker.
Yes.
Well, I think over the years, people have become more used to seeing him as that kind of a classy villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not really whatever that was that we saw in Suicide Squad back in 20.
He's got his own issues over there.
But again, like I said, I am forgiving. But I am forgiving that performance because he actually surprised me in Snyder Cuts and his little performance there. Actually, actually, I was like, God damn, he actually doing a really good job.
You know what? Fair enough. I've pushed so much of that out of my brain. It's like, I'd rather never go back into it. Can we talk about the better Suicide Squad?
Okay. We were waiting a bit on Sosapotence for joining us, but he might not able to join since his time zone is different from ours. So
aren't we all in different time zones?
We'll just give him the benefit of the doubt and just tell him to join whenever he,
Yeah,
joins.
that's what I just told him now. So we'll get started on the story. Anyway, Forgotten Pharaoh, Galix, or one of you give the plot summary to Suicide Squad, because again, I have to read you copy and paste from Google and shit when I'm giving.
Galix, you want to try it this time?
All right, so the Suicide Squad. Basically, the plot sort of like focuses around Amanda Waller, a returning character from the first one, sending a team of villains into hostile territory in order to take down a pretty much a threat to the world before it becomes, a threat to the world.
Yeah,
that's as much as I can give it without being, very much spoilery.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, last time, for those who aren't aware, like last time, we're going to go into a spoiler-free section before we dive into the spoilers of the movie. We'll have to give our final thoughts and ratings first, but until then, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into all the aspects, non-spoilery.
We also have a fun question that we've all been preparing for.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've had fun building this one.
Anyway, the story of Suicide Squad, I really enjoyed it. It was fun, I wouldn't say too simplistic, but easy to follow. And it was a nice mix of comedy, but it didn't take away from the more serious and dramatic aspects of the movie. And everything was very well paced, and it was just overall very well developed. You got to know the characters. Nothing really felt out of place, though I will say, we hear a bit about what Joker did with Harley Quinn. She says how he treated her, and anyone who is even semi-familiar with DC Comics will know that Joker was a shitty boyfriend that always was abusive to Harley. Mm. But since this isn't tied to any particular movie, show, game, or even a comic book, I do think we should have gotten dived into it a bit more, particularly like maybe some flashbacks and stuff that would have shown us what it was like. Because again, this is a different universe. I know I know most of the people watching will know what Joker was like, but I would have liked to see it build on that a bit more. But aside from that, I don't really have an issue with it. I really like the story to the movie. It is super entertaining and all around very enjoyable.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to agree with on the fact that it was actually much more enjoyable and actually a lot more entertaining than the first one was. The first one, of course, was okay in my opinion. One of those cases where it could have been done better. But this one, all in all, from the very beginning, entertaining. And of course, well-paced. I love how it kind of delved into the backstories of each of the characters, but not too much to giving them their own little segment and just taking up much of the movie's runtime. Because if they had done that, then I think we wouldn't have been able to get as much as we did with the Suicide Squad as we do now. And the characters, of course, all enjoyable. I really enjoyed their, the comeuppance as a team, their little squabbles with each other, especially Bloodsport and Peacemaker, just trying to competing who's the better killer and whatnot.
So funny.
Yeah, I love the part where they are pretty much showing off their skills. What he was like. We got Peacemaker shooting people.
And we got Bloodsport killing people, just competing who's better.
Yeah, and he goes that nobody likes to show off unless what they're showing off is dope
as fuck.
And true. You know what? That's pretty accurate.
That's very true, actually. No one would have ever thought of that until he mentioned that. And now everyone's going to be saying that for years to come.
It's so true.
It is true, but you never think about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And of course, the story itself really just delving into the more actual serious dark tone of it. Like it to me, it was like a good balance between comedy and tragedy, not tragedy, but like with its comedic elements as well as its more dark, serious elements. Like,
I agree with you.
Some moments leaving me on the edge of my seat and like being like, "Oh God, no! What this?" And then of course, with certain things happening, I'd be like, "Oh no! Why did that happen?"
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there because it was able to put a smile on my face, make me laugh, and all around be a comfort movie. But that didn't stop it from having serious moments that played with your emotions and got you got the suspense going. You even felt sorry for many of the characters when you realize what they've been through in their past, and pretty much characters like King Shark, where he just pretty much where he's just starting to understand friendship, and he tries to make some friends from it.
You mean Nanue?
Yeah,
I'm happy about that. They call him King Shark maybe once, but they referred to him by his actual name the entire movie.
I think it's pronounced Nanue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like they never do that in the comic. It's always, oh my God, King Shark, and it's like, have a name, guys. But no, he's just your giant shark monster.
And like I am happy with Sylvester Stallone's performance with King Shark.
Yeah.
I am too.
I really like it. He just did to me. He just did a really good job, and
I agree.
They focused a lot on Nanaue, and he really is like the. I don't want to say Fallout. What's the word I'm looking for? No,
Fall Guy? No.
The Fall Guy, yeah. He's he's just like really doing his best. And of course, the scene there is a certain scene that really like speaks out to like how it is that he really feels. But we'll get more into that when we get into the more spoil aspect of this review.
Yeah.
And when it comes to King Shark, it's Sylvester Stallone's performance as King Shark. I was very impressed by Nanue. Whatever.
I'm gonna do it every time.
Fair enough.
I think it's pronounced Nanue.
Nanue. It's Hawaiian?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's some Samoan aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was quite impressed with Stallone's performance as him because he's normally this big, badass action hero that you know him for in stuff like Rambo. And that's not to say he isn't a great actor. He is. But I was surprised to see him pull off this innocent, for lack of a better word, character that didn't really understand much of the world and was trying to gain an understanding.
Oh, yeah. Having nom-nom on people is definitely innocent.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
In my opinion, he felt like a dumber but more violent version of Rocky.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there.
That's pretty spot on, actually.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm surprised he didn't.
This version of Nanue is drastically different from every version we see. Because in the Harley Quinn show, he's like IT King Shark. And he just wants to have a nice, stable job. He's got glasses, and he wants to do IT work while occasionally maybe killing someone if he has to. Then he's more of I just kind of want to live a life away from dad and my responsibilities. And this, he just wants to make friends.
But his little fits of rage is just like so funny. He's just like, I will kill every single one of you with my bare hands if I have to.
Yep. And I also was very impressed with the dynamic between Bloodspot and Ratcatcher.
Sport. Yeah,
Bloodsport. I think Google called him Bloodspot.
I'm pretty sure that's a different dude. That has to be a different dude.
Yeah,
no, it was Idris Elba.
Bloodspot is a musical group. Look at that.
Yeah, I like the relationship between Bloodsport and Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah, I do as well because at first I don't want to call her dumb, but would she be more innocent? Like
I want to say she's got some sort of illness to her because she's tired all the time. She's always fatigued.
I think she's just.
I don't know if she's just a millennial or she actually has some sort of sickness to her.
No, I think she's just like insomniac. I think that's just what it is. She just has insomnia.
Yeah. Well, I guess she's a bit on the naive side of things. At first, Bloodsport, I don't know what he's called. We call him Bloodspot. Bloodsport, finds her annoying and pretty much is only doing what he's doing only because that the team that was getting the Suicide Squad did something that would force him to join, but he actually did not want to do it. She saw the good in him, but for a while, he just found her annoying. But over time of getting to know each other's backstories, which we'll get into in the spoiler section, they became more friendly with each other, and he understood her thing with rats more. And it was all around more heartwarming and interesting.
All right,
the cast themselves were fun, and for those who probably haven't seen the movie yet, the team consists of Bloodsport, which is a dude who just has like guns for days.
Nanotech. Yeah, it's like nano weapons,
which is cool. So he's got guns for days. Then there's a dude called Peacemaker, who his purpose is essentially, I will bring peace even if it kills everybody.
Yeah,
which is the least really the solution.
Like pretty much like hands down basic definition of patriotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's painful and obvious, but that's his thing. And you know what? He is de facto, I will bring peace even if it kills everybody involved. Like, you do know that is flawed logic, but he's devoted. Then there's Ratcatcher 2, who basically is a millennial. They portray her as a millennial who has a wand that controls rats. So I'm like, okay, that works out well. Then there's Nanaue. How do you pronounce it? Nanaue?
Let's just call him King Shark.
I won't do that. He has a name, and they call him Nanaue the whole movie. No. So there's Nanaue / King Shark, who is just a half human. No, he's like a half. No, he's basically a demigod, a humanoid shark god.
He's a demigod.
Then there's Polka Dot Man, who has some sort of illness to him, given to him by his mom, where it's an interdimensional measles, essentially. Yeah. Where these polka dots will just overtake him unless he expels them out of his body.
And then, of course, we have returning characters like we have Harley Quinn and Colonel Flag.
Oh, yeah. Rick Flag, just the leader of the group. Harley, just doing Harley things, which is actually really fun. There is a different team in this, but we'll save that for later, I guess.
Should we really mention the other Suicide Squad members that only have?
Let's save that for the spoiler portion.
But when it comes to Harley Quinn, again, I think something, whether you love or hate the original Suicide Squad movie, I think everyone can agree that she was an amazing live-action casting choice for the character. So, which is why she was casted for this one. And she still did a really good job. Margaret Robbie still had a lot of energy to her character and still had the fun, crazy lines that made Harley who she is. And she's very good. What, Alex?
Oh, yeah. You guys have something to say, JSP?
No, I just had a little cough. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, you don't want you can go ahead and offer your opinion on the main story and characters.
Yeah.
Because we're over here, we're just talking our asses off. So you just standing there quietly, patiently. So go ahead.
I did like it for the most part. There was some things I didn't like, and I guess we'll wait till the spoiler section to talk about them. But I did like most of the cast. I thought the characters were a little bit more enjoyable in this movie, although I kind of have a soft spot for the first movie, the extended cut, that is.
I'm just gonna be the odd one out in that case scenario, aren't I?
Yeah, says the guy that says that he's gonna say King Shark's by his name, and yet he can't even pronounce his name.
Hey, I don't know Samoan, I don't know Hawaiian. Okay, I'm trying to learn. Not the language, but I'm trying to give him more credit because he deserves more.
Repeat after me. Now.
A.
Nanaue.
Nanaue. Okay.
There you go. Yay!
I'm gonna get it right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And when it comes to the special effects of the movie, I'm not going to go into some of a really spoilery thing, even though if anyone who read the DC stuff will know, but if you're not too acquainted with it, you won't, so I'm saving that for the spoiler stuff. But from the non-spoiler effects, King Shark and... Oh, wait.
Runaway.
I'm
going to be on that every time.
Yeah. He looked amazing. His skin looked very much like an actual shark, especially when he would get wet. He would look like an actual shark out of water that was able to show lots of emotion and blended in with everything perfectly. Like, he's with a bunch of real actors, and he actually fits right in. He looks real. Nothing about him feels out of place.
Take that,
and
live-action Lion
same
King.
with the weasel. Same with the weasel, a very expressionable creature that looks like an actual weasel that was humanoid, and the faces he makes, maybe I'm weird.
You know it's bad. No, you know it's bad when a motherfucking mutant weasel thing has more facial expression than your lions, Disney.
Exactly. But when it comes to the weasel, I might be weird for this, but I think the weasel is actually pretty adorable.
Damn weasel.
Like, he fucking killed kids, but when he's on, it's like, this guy's fucking adorable.
He looks like he has mange.
Yeah. True, he does.
But he's still adorable, and the effects on him was very expressionable with the faces. He moved organically. And the way he was proportioned looked very similar to an actual weasel. Only difference is it stands on legs.
What kind of weasels have you seen?
It looks a lot like a weasel.
Yeah.
Are you talking about weasels or ferrets?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not much of a comic book reader, especially on DC side. So I really thought that characters like Polka Dot Man, the Weasel, TDK, and Javelin, I really thought James Gunn really just thought those characters and such off the top of his head just to have like a body count.
It's actually very hard to come up with new characters considering the roster of how many people are just floating in the comic book universe, just never to be used again.
Right.
Exactly. And
like, I had to actually look someone up. I was like, who the hell is TDK? And I'm like, that's a dude. I looked at him like, that's actually a dude. Wow. I'll give James Gunn credit every time. Because when he, I'm starting to realize, I think I'm a fan of James Gunn. I love his dark comedy. I love how he tells his stories. I love his dialogue. I love the atmosphere he gives in his movies. Like, it feels like, yeah, he made this. And I enjoy that so much. This basically feels like the Guardians of the Galaxy equivalent for DC, essentially.
I agree. I still want to see James Gunn make a Kamen Rider movie. I'm not sure how many of you seen his tweet he did last year about his love for Kamen Rider, but he pretty much did a tweet on Twitter. He pretty much did a tweet on Twitter about his love for Kamen Rider last year, and it pretty much blew up the whole Toku community. Everyone was excited, and it definitely made me love James Gunn more too. And after watching movies like this, makes me wish that we actually would get an American Kamen Rider movie or series by James Gunn, because I think he could do it well.
Isn't Legendary doing a Gundam?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so it's possible we can get something. Maybe not in the immediate future, but down the road when he gets more movies, yeah, I'm done with Marvel things for right now. I want to try more of these passion projects. And if someone gets the rights to Kamen Rider, maybe Legendary, they could do it.
Exactly. James Gunn has been making some really good and fun superhero movies, and I think he could balance the often comedic and dark nature of Kamen Rider together, as he is really good at that.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that.
I would as well, because the thing about Kamen Rider is it often blends a lighthearted tone with a dark tone. That's a very common thing in the shows.
And that's what this did. But that's what this did really well. And just to give my outside opinion from the whole thing, this was a fun movie. Outwardly saying it. If people haven't seen this movie, which according to ratings, people haven't seen this movie, I would actually suggest they do so. If you want to just have an afternoon of I want to watch something fun. Maybe not over the top, laughing my head off funny, but it's I just want to see a fun, interesting partially emotional movie where I don't expect to get emotional, this definitely fits that niche. Where it's like, hey, I'm doing a movie night. I'm watching Suicide Squad.
Right.
Yeah, like if you're just feeling down and you want something to lighten up your mood, but still gives you something complex enough that will play with your emotions a bit, this definitely is the way to go.
Yeah. I told my sister about it and she was super sad because she loves marine biology. She loves fish I'm terrified of the ocean for multiple reasons. She loves it. She would go, like, if she was in this movie, she'd be the one hugging Nanaue the entire movie. She would.
Hey, he said it right.
Yep. And as I was telling her about it, she's like, I can't watch this movie. It's too sad for me. She'd be crying the entire time for him.
Well, can't blame her because Inoue is he doesn't deserve any of the stuff that's given to him. Even when he just gets bitten by the fish that he calls friend. Okay, my bad. Not a huge spoiler, but even when he gets mild injuries, it's like, oh man, he didn't deserve that.
Yeah, like any sort of injury for him is like, I know you can take this, but I wish you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Exactly. He just wants friends.
I mean, King Shark's a tough guy, but like,
and eat people.
and if you've seen like previous incarnations of him, you definitely know King Shark definitely like ranks up there with like the heavy hitters. But this
unless you're watching CW,
like a big overgrown puppy.
Unless you're watching CW,
rows
then he gets
of
bodied by Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah,
and when it comes to King Shark, he's I like that how at first everything is just food to him, literally everything. He's trying to eat everyone in sight, but Ratcatcher pretty much teaches him stuff about friendship, and that's how when he starts to rip and tear, to quote Doom, the bad guys.
Nom nom.
It hurts. How about this? How would you rate this movie non-spoiler way?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really, really good. The music, though, it wasn't the best thing ever. I pretty much feel about the music like I did with Snake Eyes. It's good. It complements the mood, but nothing that would stick to you afterwards. But good. Special effects are all around incredible with pretty exciting action scenes that are fun to watch with humor that honestly made me laugh. I didn't cringe at one joke in the movie. I laughed at all of them, and I don't even think there's any that I kept a straight face on. I think I just laughed at all the jokes because they're that good. And all the emotional stuff felt earned, came at the right time, and well written. A very satisfying experience, and I'd recommend it to anybody who is just looking to have some fun while also getting an engaging story and some emotional weight on the ride. But nothing that's going to rip your heart out Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah. JSP, what about you? Non-spoiler rating.
I need time to think about this. I'm sorry.
All right, take time. Galix, what about you?
The Suicide Squad, in my opinion, is perhaps one of James Gunn's best works thus far. And of course, if you have seen previous James Gunn's movies, you know exactly what I mean. In terms of, and agreeing with Joey, he does a good solid blend of comedy and dark aspects, and of course the jokes, the comedic aspect of the movie. You know, I did not find myself cringing at any of them. I absolutely loved each and every single joke. The scenes of the characters. You know, at first they're reluctant to work together, but over time you see them actually working together, being a team. And in order to complete the mission of which that they were set upon. The special effects, as good as they'll get with the Century, you know, nothing really. Nanaue's design really stood out as well. He seemed very realistic, and despite having the head of an actual shark, he was very expressiony. Like you could actually see what he was feeling, how he was feeling, and what he was thinking, and I love that. Of course, and blood sports weapons designs, I like them as well. His little nanotech guns, really cool looking.
Yeah, those are cool.
Enjoyed it. Yeah. The music, standard. You know, nothing. One bit of music that really stands out to me is the music from that one scene of Nanaue in the aquarium. Yeah, that's
yes.
that's the only bit of music that actually like really stands out to me, and I actually find myself listening to it every so often because you just can't help but feel something when you listen to it, and we'll talk more about it when we get into the spoiler aspect.
I'm having a hard time remembering that part.
I actually remember what you're
We'll
talking
bring it up
about.
to you. Don't worry.
And it was really good.
All right. So
overall, it was an enjoyable film for me. And I enjoyed watching it the second time around when I watched it this past weekend with my dad, since he wanted to watch it. I rated a 9 out of 10 as well. You know, great movie, entertaining, but just overall a great film.
fair enough. Where did I go? That I basically agree to what you guys are saying, but I'm sure there's flaws in this movie somewhere. But I'm going into this movie same way I go into most movies. I just want to be entertained. Considering I still feel a little sore about the last Suicide Squad movie, I went in with very low expectations. Where it's like, I'm just gonna do this for the sake of. I'm into comic books. I like seeing comic book movies. I do. I remember reading these comics, so it's a thrill for me to see them on the big screen, for good or bad. DC hurts me. I have like PTSD after watching Justice League sometimes. I'm like, I remember watching the 90s cartoon and realizing, how did we go from a great cartoon to this trash?
Wait, the 90s cartoon? Because I thought it was in the early 2000s.
Around that, I don't know. My timing is off in years. But either way, I still love that Justice League show, that Justice League Unlimited show. It was really good. I loved watching Static Shock. I love that Teen Titans show. They were all in that vein of, this is getting me into comics.
Oh, the 2000 Teen Titans show was amazing.
Yeah, and this movie honestly surprised me. From the get-go, it's like, oh, cool, we got like Michael Rooker in this, we got Captain Boomerang back, and then it immediately surprised me of, oh, we're doing this. And then from then on, I'm like, wow, I'm not expecting a lot of these things, because comic book-wise, it'd be realistic, but I'm like, this is really good, actually. I'm not predicting everything properly. The obvious jokes that you think are going to happen, they don't do, and they've twisted around something else. I'm like, that's really good directing, that's good screenwriting, that's good dialogue. The action was entertaining. The music I don't remember so much, but it's like this, I had a fun time watching it. And then I watched it later again with my friends, and like, I'm seeing background things, I'm like, that's there. Like, these are fun Easter eggs to throw in. I'm like, you know what? I'm all happy I watched this. And all credit due, they found a way of making Starro the Conqueror in a live-action movie. And at one point, they made me feel emotional for him. Like, I never expected this. I was kind of hoping Jarro would be around, but never mind. Now I'm just digging into, like, deep lore. But yeah, overall, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. It's like, I really enjoyed this movie. It's perfect for what it sets out to be. It gives me faith that DC can definitely do more, but I never really give anything like a 9 or 10 out of 10 unless I'm really raving at the top of the screen shouting, everyone should see this. I'm definitely saying this is a good movie to watch if you just want a chill afternoon, if you want a comic book movie, if you just want to see kind of a fun, dark comedy of a movie, watch this one. A 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 is like, you need to see this otherwise. But,
understandable.
Yeah, but that's just kind of my take with it. I've been getting notes down for the spoiler part of this just so I can get this right.
And when it comes to this movie, I was also surprised.
You come up with it?
Well, I don't have a rank. I don't have like a rating yet, but I will say, I thought the music in the first film was more memorable. Even though, well, the movie, not so much, even though I still kind of like it. God dang it, what else was I going to say? I hate having selective memory.
That's why, trust me, we have like a notepad next to us and we've written our notes down for these things.
Exactly.
Here's something that actually surprised me. This movie actually bombed worse than Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Which is sad because Birds of Prey wasn't very good.
No.
I'm like, how?
I'm pretty sure it's the idea that it has almost the same title as the first Suicide Squad movie, and people still remember the first Suicide Squad movie and how bad that was. So having a similar title is like, I didn't like this first movie. Why would I go see this second one? Where it's like, I understand what you're thinking in that thought process, but they're not the same. Like, they changed things up. They could have maybe given it a different title somewhere, or just changed it around, or be like, that Suicide Squad doesn't matter anymore. Something along those lines. Or maybe it's how things are being released, where it's like in theaters and HBO Max now, because I know that's messing with money values, but I'm not good with that entirely.
Yeah, I heard that was like an issue with the Black Widow movies.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, I'm not saying I thought Birds of Prey was terrible. I just thought it was okay.
It was all right. Yeah, I thought it was. I found myself like enjoying it at some moments. Not the best movie, but one of those cases where it can be better, which sadly is a lot with a lot of the DC movies. That have been coming out. It's just really like one of those cases where it just needs to be. It could be done better.
All right.
And then Justice League Snyder Cut was done better.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I made a meme that maybe that I don't know if you all can read it, but because on my screen it's going to look like backwards.
Mm.
No,
we can't see
I
that.
sent it in like the group chat or the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's probably the smartest way of doing it. So yeah, would you want to start going to spoilers then otherwise?
Yeah. So before we get into spoilers, I'd like to say when it comes to Snyder's Justice League, I heard the original sucks, but I do hear the Snyder Cut was pretty good. I have not watched it though. It's super fucking long and
it is really long, but I found it to be worth the time actually.
I heard
well paced going into
it better be for 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's 4 hours long. Like, of course, it's gonna be like very long, but I found the time to be quite worth it actually. Like it was well paced. You could just and it was all in all just a very much better than the first Justice League was, in my opinion.
That's what I've heard. Anyway, before we get into spoilers, I just remembered what I wanted to say. It popped up in my head earlier, and then it left, but I remember it now.
Yeah, that sucks.
I went into this movie. I was expected to be good, but I wasn't expected to be as good as what we got. I was expected to be typical fun, run-of-the-mill superhero movie where it's good, great even, but not on this level. But I ended up getting something that I liked better than most, if not all, MCU films even. So I was still surprised. So I was still expecting to have a good time regardless. But anyway, let's get into spoiler section. What do you guys want to discuss first?
I feel like they really did Boomerang dirty. Boomerang, they really did him fucking dirty.
No. I was like, no.
It's so sad.
What the hell?
Like, I understand, it's the Suicide Squad. People fucking die, but it's he's just I don't know. How could they
He's always the guy who lives
easily.
Yeah.
They really they focused a lot on this savant guy, and then he just ends up fucking dying because he got cold feet.
All right. Yeah. So context through all of this. The beginning of the movie starts off with a team of Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, Weasel, Captain Boomerang, whose name is Digger, which I'm just going to keep calling him that, Blackguard, a dude named TDK, Javelin, and Savant, and a dude called Savant, who's played by Michael Rourke. And Waller's telling them, we need you to go onto this island for reasons. So they get they're being airdropped out of a ship into the water. Weasel drops into the water and just drowns straight up. And Waller's like, did anyone check if he could swim? And all the admins are just looking at each other. I'm like, I thought you were going to check that.
Yeah, that made me laugh. But at the same time, I kind of felt sorry for Weasel.
Oh, yeah.
it made me happy where I think this would count as actor credit, would it, since it did the whole title screen where it was shown with him lying down and then he just started coughing out the water and just walks away.
And he just goes on about his business.
Yeah, I think that was a fun way to end the movie. They thought he was dead, but he actually wasn't, so he just got up and did his own thing.
Part of me, I'm sorry, finish.
Go ahead. No, what is it?
Part of me like knew he was alive, but at the same time, I was like, wait, is he actually dead? And I was like, I almost felt like yelling to like Michael Rooker's characters, like chest compressions.
Yes, that's what he should have been doing.
Mouth to mouth.
Chest compressions.
I felt like Dr. Mike.
Exactly.
Yes.
He literally just assumed he was dead while doing nothing to try to save him. Took him to cough up the water that he got in.
It's bastard dead.
I'd actually put on par with the after credit of Pacific Rim where Ron Perlman slices himself out of that baby monster stomach.
And then he's
He
like,
says, where the hell is
goddamn shoe?
Yeah, it's like that. It's funny and it's a nice way to end the movie on
a terrible, not terrible as in that's a problem. If that thing's murdering children, that's a problem having running around.
I feel like they would have
yes.
One of the people like in charge of Waller's operation. They'd just like see the computer and see that he was still active and be like, "Is Weasel still fucking alive?"
Apparently he flatlined somewhere. But that's the thing. Everyone died in that beginning intro. Because I apparently betrayed them all and had his face just blown in immediately. Javelin died somehow. Oh, that's right. Javelin died. Rick Flag and Harley lived because they're bigger main characters, I guess. Obviously. Captain Boomerang just had shrapnel blown into his face. I was upset by that. Then an explosion overtook him. I think the daughter of a very, very strong villain was part of the team called Mongal.
Who is that?
Yeah, she's Mongol's daughter. Mongol is basically this alien
I know
warlord.
who Mongol is. I thought I didn't know he had a daughter. I thought Mongal was some kind of like gender bent joke of Mongol.
No, apparently that's like his daughter in comic lore, and she got bodied by a helicopter, basically.
I'm like, this is the daughter of a
intergalactic warlord,
like that.
Who could go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah, like how did she die by a helicopter crash? Was she just nerfed that heavily?
I guess so.
All those people were fucking nerfed heavily. And then fucking Boomerang.
TDK, which stands for the Detachable Kid. All his powers is just he's able to detach his arms and they move at like a walking speed and they start slapping the henchmen, like basically the military dudes. Since they can't punch properly because a punch comes from like a full body instance, it's just arms being absurdly annoying. So eventually they just realize enough of this and they start shooting the arms as the guy is writhing at the ground in pain. I'm like, wow. Why was he even part of the team?
And then
exactly.
And then Boomerang. Oh, they really did him dirty.
I'm still sad by that.
I saw something on Instagram. Here it is. It says here that James Gunn revealed that in the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller built Team One out of people she actually hated and those she considered useless, just to be a diversion. So the team she thought useful, Team 2 could get through.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. What? I figured that much. Like,
hold on, guys.
Like Amanda Waller really like putting together a team of pretty much like cannon fodder.
I mean, it's in the name.
It's in the name, the Suicide Squad. But like, god damn, it really lived up to its actual name in those first 5 to 10 minutes.
Look, to be fair, Amanda Waller is a monster. In the comics, she's a horrible person. They did that right here. In the entire movie, she is just like, wow, you are a terrible, scary person to deal with.
I cannot find myself in any way ever like liking the character of Amanda Waller. Like, sure, she does this for the good of her country, which in itself is, of course, like, just absolutely, in some senses, a bad thing, especially if your country is known to have done bad things.
Oh yeah,
exactly. That would be like if she was in North Korea or some shit and just wanted to do the good for that place.
Yeah.
Honestly, that they portrayed her properly in that. She's supposed to be a terrifying person who's like, are you, like, I know you're doing this for a good guy, but you're doing this in such a terrible way that it borders on being a villain at this point.
Yeah, when I saw the trailers of the movie, I actually did not expect her to be this vile, but once I watched the movie, I realized how terrible she really was, because she was straight up threatening Bloodsport's daughter to prosecute her as an adult, and she even pretty much threatened some to do other terrible things to her, like little girls like her would not do well in a prison full of adults, and she also, when it comes to unleashing Starro, pretty much was going to kill a bunch of people with that and wanted nothing.
Like, she really was just going to let all those people in Corto Maltese fucking die. And she didn't even think, like, you think that, and like, you really didn't think that if Starro decided to get, was like tired with the city, it'll spread to the fucking world, America included. Like, she's a fucking dumbass for not even remotely thinking that.
And when it comes to the actress who played her, what's the actress's name? Let me look her up.
Viola Davis.
Okay, Viola Davis.
Viola
Davis.
Yep, great actress.
Great actress.
Yeah, she did a really good job of portraying the character because she gives this very stoic-like emotion to the character that just makes her seem more evil, which fits the overall writing and complemented the dialogue and decisions she made overall. You can't help just to be terrified of her and pretty much hate her. But even though you hate the character, it's a good thing that you do because you're not supposed to
hate the actor and the actress for doing a phenomenal job bringing that character to life.
Yeah, it's like the actor who played the lead Exilian in Final Wars. I forgot his name, but he's a really good actor.
He really brought that character to life, and you just can't help yourself you can't just bring yourself to hate him. You could tell he really enjoyed playing that character.
Exactly, I love him.
And really just like, as Final Wars it was just like extreme to the max, everywhere. But it did it right, and that's what the actor did for X. He just was everywhere with the character, but it suited him.
Yeah, which is why he's such a great actor, because he was able to play fun, over-the-top villain in Final Wars, but then he also played in this movie called Killers I watched, where I fucking despised him. He was straight up evil, taking women and murdering them for the dark web, and the actor gave a very vile performance in that, which shows that he's a great actor, because he's able to play a fun villain, like in Final Wars, but he's also able to play someone more evil and vile, if you've seen the movie Killers.
I have not.
Killers.
Yeah, there's a movie called Killers with the actor who played the Exilian in Final Wars. I forget his name. He's a really good actor. But
I believe him to be a good actor. I love
Kazuki Kitamura.
Oh, this is there.
Okay, yes, he's a great actor. I loved him in Final Wars. I loved him in Ultra 7X, and I hated him in Killers, but that's because his performance was so good at playing a disgusting individual.
Bringing that back around to this, but that's great for the characters themselves. Where Waller played a terrifying individual, and she came off that way the entire movie. Bloodsport came off a little more empathetic, where he was basically Deadshot, but
he's basically Deadshot.
Slightly different. So I can get along with this because comic Bloodsport is okay.
Yeah, he was basically Deadshot. It was basically like Deadshot. Like, he wasn't good at like showing his concern and actual love for his daughter. Yeah. Like, despite him saying like, "Oh, Juvie, Juvie, we good for her," and then hearing saying that she could actually be prosecuted as an adult, he was actually genuinely upset.
I think James got for dad.
Exactly, because Exactly, because at first he thought she was just going to be sent to juvie, and he was like, fine, that might teach her a lesson. But the moment he heard that she was being prosecuted as an adult, he got much more passionate and angry about it, showing that he really does care about her.
And didn't even think twice about doing this mission.
Exactly, and over time, despite hating what he was doing because he was forced to do it, he over time, with the relationship he got with his teammates, he started to like them and pretty much enjoyed hanging out with them and stuck with having the team even after doing their job.
He kind of had like a little surrogate father-daughter moments with Ratcatcher too, as she's opening up about things.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's cute. He's finding that investment with it. I don't think he ever grew totally okay with King Shark. I think he just kind of bottomed out with like, you know what? Okay, this is just what's gonna happen, I guess.
Yeah. But he did. I still love when he yelled, the monster num num, and he was like,
monster nom nom.
And
I
then
mean, he's turning into the leader then, which is great. It's like I'm happy about that. Also, I'm still, like I said, this movie. We can talk all the fun parts, but I really want to get to the point of this movie is also a tragedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were we gonna say, JSP?
Speaking of leaders, I can't believe they killed Flag also.
Yeah. Oh, man. Damn.
I actually thought Joel Kinnaman did better in this movie. And then...
Agreed.
Although, I will admit, his death kind of did have purpose.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
again, which...
what the hell? No.
Yeah, which takes it to the point that Pharaoh just made earlier, that this movie is also a tragedy.
Exactly. It's something that it's like I said earlier, James Gunn is really good at blending tragic elements with comedy, which is why I think he should do a Kamen Rider movie. Because the humor, it did not take away from the serious parts.
You were able to laugh.
I'm going to have to disagree on that part.
Go ahead.
Give your perspective.
Like, there's this scene where they're in Jotunheim, and there's this guy whose name was Milton. And
well, I don't
Milton.
Go ahead, keep stating your case. I'm sorry.
And then he dies, and Polka Dot Man's like, "Oh my gosh, they killed Milton!" And Mudsport's like, "Milton was with us?" And Harley's like, "Who's Milton?" And it just goes on for a while. And
are you serious?
And to me, it started. And to me, it kind of started. I was like, okay, this is no longer funny.
Really?
I thought it was hilarious. I think that was the whole point of it. And in all fairness, nobody remembers Milton.
What really got me was
I'll remember Milton forever.
Neither do I. Even when I was rewatching it today, I was like, oh shit, I forgot who Milton was.
Yeah, if you watch that movie and pay attention, he's in the scenes when the team goes into the bar. Yeah. They're infiltrating when they're storming the little castle. He's there the entire time.
He's still with them, huh? Oh, well, never mind. He's dead.
It wasn't really supposed
to say something.
Sorry. At first, I almost expected him to live. I was like, oh, no, he's going to die.
That'd have been great.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think it was supposed to be tragic right there. I think the whole point of him being there was to kill him off and bring a joke, and he'd served his purpose. Because nobody remembers Milton, not the viewers, and not the characters.
I will. I'll remember Milton.
I'll remember. Yeah. Well, what's his name again?
Not sure how many of you seen the 60s movie by Ishiro Honda, Matango.
Yes, the mushroom thing.
I only saw Brandon Tenold's review of it.
Yeah, when Polka Dot Man gets his rashes, I still love that part where they're going, "That's a rash."
I mean, that is really weird. His mom inflicted him with an interdimensional disease of what looks like essentially measles. And it's like, one, that's horribly screwed up. Even if she wanted to turn him into a superhero, it's like, that's a horrible side effect where it looks like he's about to explode into polka dots. If he doesn't get it out of his system.
But when he gets those rashes, he looks like one of the people in Matango when they're slowly mutating into those scary fucking mushroom monsters.
Yeah, that's fair. And to
And
be fair, he does play a lot of key roles. He probably, if he just kept shooting at Starro, he could have done a lot of damage. He could have
really didn't expect Polka Dot Man to survive as long as he did.
Nope.
Neither did
Again, I don't really know much about the character of Polka Dot Man because I didn't think he was an actual comic book character. I really thought James Gunn.
He's like an E-ranked villain. No one remembers him.
Yeah, I really didn't expect him to survive as long as he did up until the final battle with Starro.
Yeah, I actually expected him and a couple other villains to die, but here's what I think. I did expect Polka Dot Man to die, but I didn't expect him to die that late. I'm sorry, I think I probably said that wrong.
No, it's okay.
I did expect Polka Dot Man to die, but I didn't expect him to die like this late into the movie where they're fighting Starro.
And then he just gets like fucking squished.
I was like, why did you stop? Keep shooting.
Yeah, like dude, keep going. That would have worked. Also, you're making me think of a new villain just called Polka Man, who makes his villains dance polka or just tortures them with polka music to steal and rob banks. I'm like, that works.
It was a nice twist of things too, because he's just like going, "Oh, I'm a fucking superhero," and partying about what he did to Starro, but then he ends up being crushed.
That was pretty obvious to me. It's like
I saw that coming the moment he stopped.
The movie panned out a little bit. So he's like, "This is a wide angle for him to celebrate." There's only one thing that happened in this exact moment.
I do agree with you. It was predictable, but it was fun.
In these kinds of movies, you see someone have a wide angle like that, you know they're about to fucking die.
Yeah, but you know what? He got some good hits in.
He did.
Exactly. It was still the part where Idris Elba's character Bloodsport goes, "That's your mom," because whenever the Polka Dot Man is fighting someone, he pretty much imagines them as his mother to kill, and it was hilarious. You see a giant version of his mother destroying shit, and it was freaking hilarious. One of my favorite jokes of the movie that also helped with a pretty epic climax too.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie's so much fun. I kind of don't want to spoil it to be like people should just have fun watching this. This movie deserves to be seen because it shouldn't be judged through the shadow of its predecessor. That's not fair to this movie.
Exactly. I remember the predecessor being a solid superhero movie, though nothing amazing, but this took the Suicide Squad story and perfected it. It was honestly one of the best superhero movies I have ever seen, to be honest.
Well, I'm not really superhero on that villain,
Well, when it comes to in recent time, that is, I don't put on par with stuff like the Maguire Spider-Man films, the Dark Knight trilogy, Ultraman the Next, and some Kamen Rider films and stuff like that. But when it comes to American superhero films I've seen in recent times, this is definitely one of the better ones that I have seen, because the MCU is good, but I do think it's a bit overrated. This film, I think, deserves the MCU's praise.
I think I would still watch Guardians of the Galaxy over this one, depending on my mood.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think I might like this a little more, though it's been a while since I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and I do remember that being one of the better MCU films, and it's great. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but when it comes to most MCU films, I think it's better than most.
I wouldn't agree with you on that. A lot of MCU movies have actually motivated me to either buy figures or write stories of my own, while DC still hasn't motivated me to create anything. That's what's always holding it back for me.
Understandable. And this actually takes Joker's place as the best DC movie to come out in years. Because Joker was really good, don't get me wrong, but this takes its place. It's better.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't want to say too much. It's like, people should just go watch this, please. It's like, just give this movie attention. Show that DC can do better. And it can do better with the right people involved without too much messing around. Don't keep switching out directors. Let one director manage the movie with their one vision, and it could do well.
Yep. Abysszilla just said, "Hello there." Well, General Kenobi.
Dang it, I wanted to do that.
Yeah, when it comes to the whole hello there thing, if you have a friend, if you say hello there to your friend and they don't go General Kenobi,
then they're not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, get rid of them too because you don't need that type of negativity in your life.
Speaking of stars, let's focus on Starro for a little bit.
Yes, Starro.
Finally.
The only other time I've ever seen Starro in any form of media was in Batman Beyond, in that one episode with Starro.
Oh shit! I forgot he was in Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I love Batman Beyond, by the way.
I've seen him in two. I've seen him in Batman Beyond and Robot Chicken, but
yeah.
That one Robot Chicken episode. But Starro, the Conqueror, of course, the final villain. Not really much to go on. At first, considering he's a giant starfish,
and he's smaller versions of
there's
him
a lot going for him. Okay, like astronauts took him. He was just floating in space. Astronauts took him out of space. The Thinker experimented on him for 30 plus years. So when he finally breaks free, because the Suicide Squad's supposed to destroy all files with him, he breaks free, kills the Thinker immediately in what I almost thought was going to be a hentai scene. I was super considering it was going that direction, but I'm glad.
So it's one of those I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going things.
My friends have told me enough about that. I'm like, I don't want to know, but unfortunately, I have brain space for that. But he ends up breaking out, destroying the city. The Suicide Squad stops him. And you know what? I wouldn't blame Starro for being a little angry with humanity for experimenting on him for 30 years.
It was that final line.
I'd be pissed as well.
It was that final line of his saying that when he was happy and just floating around and staring at the stars. That just really made me think that Starro is also a bit of a tragic character, considering he was just minding his own business. And then we came along, fucking experimented on him, imprisoned him for 3 decades. And again, you just can't help but feel like, he's not exactly out of his place.
His dying words, I was happy floating in space and staring at the stars. Yeah. And that's it. That's the last line he says as he dies.
It felt like a bittersweet ending.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I don't feel good about this anymore.
And speaking
of Starro, I really like Starro because something about him. He's a bit on the goofy side, being a giant starfish, which either way, but that didn't take away from him being intimidating, and it didn't make it where you couldn't take him seriously, despite having an all-around goofy thing, an all-around goofy concept that adds to some humor. But he was very well. He was brought to life with some really beautiful CGI. The details on pretty much his skin and all that looks very realistic, and how his eyeball moves looks like an actual eye and functions like one too. Same goes with the body features of a starfish. They even move. You get to see his body moving with them, and and the insides are highly detailed. And it was just, and for speaking of his insides, I know what fish's insides looks like. I'm sure everyone does, but it looks.
Not completely.
Yeah.
What the hell have you been doing, Joey?
I don't do that to fish, but I've seen movies where real fish would get that done to them, and
stabbed in the eyeball with a javelin.
No, not that. But when it comes to when bit off some flesh, it looked slimy and had an appropriate fishy-like feel to it, for lack of a better word. Sorry for some of the choice of words I used in this video. I'm not using a script. I'm just using my notes and shit that pops on the top of my head. So my apologies for some stuttering and some odd word choices.
Anyways, go on. So you everything with fish?
No.
You know what? I want a hard segue. Speaking of tragic fish, Nanaue deserves better.
We're gonna talk about Nanaue for a little bit.
Yeah, he gets like slapped around.
One thing I want to say about Starro, though, a reason why I get to talk about the whole inside things and how he moves. You ever see the Korean movie Old Boy?
Nope.
No.
The guy essentially eats a live squid, and the actor the actor did not enjoy doing that since I think he's a vegetarian, but the way it moved and all that looked very much like how Starro looked.
My sister told me that if you pull like the top half of a squid and the tentacles apart, it makes a popping sound.
Yeah.
Why did your sister know that?
She went to like a marine biology camp growing up, and she kept doing that because that's what they had to do. They were dead squid already, hopefully, and they're like, "Oh, cool, pop, pop." And she came back telling me that. I'm like, I now know this. I'm not happy.
I wish I did. Now I do, and it will forever haunt me for the rest of my days.
Yep.
Abyssal said Starro did nothing wrong. I agree 100%. Starro only was lashing out from all the shit people did to him for years by experimenting on him and stuff like that. So, as we stated, we'd be pissed too.
Also, little question: did the Thinker molest Starro?
Oh, god damn it, Pharaoh!
No,
you have to put that in my brain.
Scene, he legitimately says he was doing a bunch of tests, and the people that Starro controlled are dead. And Starro's like, he did things to me, and the Thinker just kind of shrugged and smiled. I'm like,
oh my god, you're fucking right.
Oh my god!
Molest.
No!
I thought my mind was fucked up, but you're worse than me.
God,
I cover things at varying options. I just want to be like, that seems really
given
shady,
people
and
ideas.
this dude seems weird enough that he would do that.
You've given the dark web ideas.
Yeah. Abyss said his design is badass. I agree. His design had a right amount of goofy and comedicness to match the lighthearted man half of the movie. But at the same time, it was cool and gave me a similar vibe to Gun Q from the Ultra series, and I did like that. It
I
had
want Jaro still.
Huh?
I want Jaro still.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a comic. Yeah, there is a comic in the Injustice 2 comics.
Mm-hmm.
Starro becomes a Red Lantern.
Yes, he does.
Huh.
Oh, the one there's a lot of versions of Starro that float around. There's the Conqueror, there's the Red Lantern. The one I love most is Jaro. It's where one of the little mini Starro starfish decides, I'm gonna be a good guy. So he joins Batman and gives himself a little Robin costume.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't he become like a fucking Robin at some point?
Yup, it was adorable. He was there fighting Batman against the whole Dark Knights thing. When all the Robins are together, he's just there throwing batarangs to him. Like, this is just wonderful. And I don't think I've seen him since. I hope he just shows up again.
Wow, that's great. I love that. All right, on to the next fish, Nanaue. That scene in the aquarium really, it just was really
No, set it up. Like, what's the scene?
So it's the scene where they're in Jotunheim, right? And and they're planting explosives on the upper levels. And then when Nanaue, he goes off by himself. And he finds himself in this aquarium with these weird fish things. They have a name. I forgot what they were called.
They do?
Yeah, they have a name. Let me look for it.
Of course they do. It's a comic.
Yeah, I forgot what they were too. But yeah, while you look it up. So Nanaue's been sad. He got left behind a bunch of missions. A Peacemaker yelled at him. So he breaks away from the group and he goes to the top floor and he sees an aquarium filled with these weird fish. And the fish start looking at him, and they kind of start following him, and he gets all happy. It's like dumb fish, he made friends. So he's running around the tank, and at one point the glass breaks.
I know that scene is so beautiful. He's just going. He's finally happy that he finally made some friends, and he's just going around playing with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
And
then
then-
eventually the glass breaks and it floods the top floor, and
then
now he's able to swim with his friends. But then they start attacking and biting him. So
Yeah.
he's all terrified, and they're like lashing at him. The wall breaks open, so he falls like 10 stories, hits the ground, and you just kind of see him crying while the like fish are dying next to him. He's just all sad, and then these two just come and start shooting at him. He's just holding his face down. I'm like, stop it!
I know that
He big pupper.
that hurt me just watching, because first he had it where his new friends just started attacking him, and then you have it where the people are just trying to shoot him after losing his dead friends. It was tragic.
That whole scene, I'm like, he doesn't deserve any of this. The
And
minute
once
he
again-
held his head over his shark face, I'm like,
And once again,
my heart sank.
and
Yeah.
once again, like that scene, the aquarium scene's music just really just stands out to me.
Aww.
And and they're called the Clyrax.
The Clyrax.
I don't know
Are they
where the fuck
aliens,
they came
or-
from. But you just can't help but feel for him. It's like when he calls them new dumb friends. He's really like there's a lot. You can't help but feel there's a lot more to that meaning. It's like he tries so hard to stand out with the other Suicide Squad members, his smart friends. He's trying to read a book and he's like, so smart me. And then he's all like, I wear disguise, fake mustache. He's trying to fit in. And and they just don't really appreciate him. And so and you could just see that, when he's just like looking out, just standing there by himself, or just sitting in the truck by himself. And then when he goes up into the aquarium and he sees that the Clyrax are about as dumb as he is, he's just happy about that. And then it floods, and then they attack him, and you just can't help but feel so sad.
Yeah.
Like, no, he can't go out like this.
No,
Yeah.
I was literally hoping that I was like, oh, he can't go out like this. And then he falls out of the tower, like it's like 20 or so stories up. And then he just hits
It's a
it, and I'm like,
far
oh
fall.
god. I really thought he died, but he was still alive, and I was like, oh thank God. And then they started shooting him, and I was like, oh no, oh no. And then
James Gunn is so good with making you making you feel through action and minimal dialogue.
Exactly. He's really good at portraying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Abyssilla just said, "Gotta go back to work. I'll check out the whole stream when I am off work."
All
Good
right,
luck,
good.
bro. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. Hope you enjoy it when you watch the whole thing.
Like I said,
But-
people should see this movie. I really hope they do.
I agree. It's a very good movie that blends tones together very well. The action scenes are all around exciting, that have intensity to them, and it was just overall a very entertaining movie that I definitely recommend. If the last Suicide Squad movie left a sour taste in your mouth, watch it. This will refresh you well enough. But even if you enjoyed the last Suicide Squad movie, like I personally remember doing, still give this a watch. This takes the story and it perfects it. And I already said I want to get James Gunn do a Kamen Rider movie, but I can't stretch that enough that he really does need to do a Kamen Rider movie. Dude's a fan of Kamen Rider. He has similar tones to Kamen Rider, his movie of being both serious, tragic, but also lighthearted and comedic at the same time, balancing it out. So I'd just like to see him do that at some point, as I think he could make one that's all really, really good.
I just like his movies, so I'll probably watch stuff he makes.
Yeah.
I'm already sold on those.
Yeah.
When you got Slither? Yeah. As soon as I saw Slither, I'm like, I'm gonna pay attention to some of these things more. Then he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, that seems like a weird grab because I like the Guardians comics before it became super popular. I hate saying that, but I like the Guardians comics. I liked how Star-Lord was like this military dude who had these like cool Uzis and he was fighting. I loved Rocket Raccoon. I loved Groot. They were cool. I loved Richard Rider Nova. I was hoping to see him in the Guardians movies. I don't think we will. But either way, I was like, this is going to be fun. Then I saw the movie and like, You know what? This is a fun reboot to this world. I like it. They made Drax better because Drax was dumber in the. Drax was essentially like a dumber, worse Hulk in the original comics.
Really?
Yeah. Like Drax in the comics is like a big hulking green dude who had a giant cape to him. He didn't talk very much, or if he did, he was basically dumb. And he went up against Thanos and Hulk a couple times and lost. But it's like, all right, you're just another Hulk essentially. Except you don't get a buff every time you get angrier.
Yeah. Drax actually managed to fucking kill Thanos at one point.
He did, yeah.
And I almost forgot to mention this one thing that I really liked in it. When Starro showed up, that one guy, I forgot his name, said, "There's a freaking kaiju running."
Sorry. I think it was one of the admins.
Yeah.
We have a kaiju up in this shit.
Yeah. Oh, Sosa's here.
Sosa's here.
Greetings.
So,
you missed basically all of it.
Yeah, you missed all of it.
I'm really sorry. We did not account for the time difference.
Yeah, I did not expect that either, but we're in the spoiler section, so what do you want to discuss, Sosa?
Or do you have your team ready?
My what?
Do you, that's right. We were going to think of making our own Suicide Squad. Did you think of that or not?
If y'all want to, go for it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah. What did you think of it overall?
Fun, but really stupid. But I think the movie is very self-aware of that fact. So you know what? I don't care. It's all good. It's meant to just have fun with.
More or less,
exactly.
Yeah. So you're basically the same mind as the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we stated,
you're willing to just turn your brain off for a few seconds.
Exactly. As we said, it pretty much blends some nice comedy and lighthearted nature while still also being able to throw in some tragedy. Since James Gunn is also a fan of one of my favorite tokusatsu shows, Kamen Rider, as I told
been saying that the entire time.
Yes.
Yeah, but Sosa wasn't here then. I'd still like to see him do a Kamen Rider movie, as he would do a really good job at one with the tones and everything. And I know I've been saying that the entire time, but I can't stretch that enough. I really want a James Gunn Kamen Rider movie. It would be so good. He would able to have the balance of comedy, lighthearted nature, while also being able to throw in the darker and more tragic elements that's often present in the shows.
Which you don't really get in a lot of movies.
No.
Exactly. James Gunn, being a Kamen Rider fan...
Bro, but y'all heard about James Gunn recently, right?
No.
I have not.
What happened?
No, y'all haven't caught up on the latest James Gunn news?
Nope.
What happened?
He got named in a lawsuit for the pedophilia party he was at.
Oh shit!
Everyone's getting caught in those somewhere. I can separate a person's work from what they do in their personal life. I don't care what they do in their personal life. If they can keep making things I like, then all right, you should be punished in some way. But I still want to see the things you make. I'm not gonna stop watching his things.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. I was distracted by something.
Exactly. And when it comes to, I heard a similar case with Jeepers Creepers director. The director of Jeepers Creepers is a fucking creeper himself, but a lot of people like Jeepers Creepers. And I have not watched Jeepers Creepers myself, but many people compare it to Pumpkinhead, which I really like Pumpkinhead, so I'll have to check it out at some point, even though the director is a piece of shit.
Hollywood is a terrible place.
Things like Pumpkinhead and Jeepers Creepers, they're pretty much hidden gems to me. Like, they actually did really good in terms of actually being able to scare me at some points, which is not easy these days, especially since a lot of horror movies nowadays are pretty much just the same all in all in general in terms of plot. Like, there's this evil entity that's haunting a house or a family, and they're trying to, destroy it or get rid of it, which is consistently the same cliche ever, which is exactly not the case in these old slasher villain films like Pumpkinhead and Jason Bourne. Oh no! I feel like
Jason. You know what you mean?
Yeah, Jason Voorhees, Nightmare on Elm Street. All in all, and Jeepers Creepers. I feel like it really does need a fourth, especially with a third leading up to a possible fourth. But once again, the director being, like to quote Joey, a creeper himself, I do not see that happening anytime soon unless someone else decides to take up the mantle.
Yeah,
I've never seen them, so I got nothing.
I would recommend watching them. Like,
I heard
Anyway,
this guy.
finish JSP.
I heard Dead Meat said that he would never review the Jeepers Creepers movie unless the director dies in prison.
He does deserve that. He does deserve it.
Oh, and speaking of which, I said this earlier, but Sosa, are you there? Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll wait. All right.
1 second. Literally. Hold on.
Okay, Joey, I want to know.
Okay, my bad. I'm back.
Okay.
What did you say about James Gunn for a second? I was distracted by someone.
He was recently named in a lawsuit for pedophilia against a few Hollywood big shots. There was a party that he went to it was pedophilia themed, and he is named in that lawsuit as one of the people who was schmucking around the kids.
Oh, so that's old news then. Never mind.
Well, I mean, the party happened a while back, but he's been named in a lawsuit. That's new.
Okay.
Okay.
I still don't care enough, but
Anyway.
No, like if you're a bad person, I'll still eat your tacos, but the double standard is what I hate,
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% there.
Roseanne made a perfectly accurate comparison. It has nothing to do with her race. If you look at her and look at that Planet of the Apes girl, oh my God.
Huh?
She's the exact same.
Roseanne
nothing to do with her race.
The star of Roseanne compared someone who was close to Obama to one of the Planet of the Apes, the apes of Planet of the Apes, and she got in trouble for that and even got fired off her own show and whatever.
Yeah, she's less black than Kamala Harris.
You serious?
Yeah.
Anyway, so is there anything in a spoiler section, like a plot point, a criticism, or something that you'd like to discuss, like specific points? Like we're in a spoiler section, so this is where we discuss the spoilery stuff.
Sure. And you know what I'll also do is I will drop Shang-Chi spoilers for y'all on this stream so y'all can direct it to everybody if you'd like.
For what?
Shang-Chi.
Oh, Shang-Chi. Don't spoil Shang-Chi.
No spoilers.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I plan to watch
I thought you might like it. That way you could lead everyone else to the stream. Oh, we got Shang-Chi spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm only going to watch.
A lot of people I know don't care about Shang-Chi. He's a cool character, but most people are like, yeah, we're going to see it anyway, but I don't want to know spoilers about it. I already know the comic character and a couple things going into it.
Yeah, I still plan...
Go ahead.
I still plan to see Shang-Chi and review it on one of these streams. Would you be interested in joining us for that as well?
Heck yeah, I'll be
on time for that.
I'll be on your next one too, as long as we get the time difference down. I know you're an hour ahead of me from now on, so I'll get it right next time.
Yeah, at least we learned. So that should make this whole stream thing going on easier.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to mess up the whole flow of everything.
Nah,
it's all good.
What section of the movie are we in? What do we want to talk about when it comes to spoilers?
Pretty much just go into random stuff that comes to your mind that you want to discuss.
We were just talking about
that you liked or disliked.
Yeah,
we were just talking about Manaway right now.
There was so much jumbled up within that.
Yeah, it's getting hard with the more people we add in.
Polka Dot Man and his mom are the most awesome parts. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I still love where he yells that when Starro comes, that's your mom, and it's a giant version of his mother destroying the city.
Yes.
Somehow that was more terrifying than the starfish.
And it made it where his thing of where everything he sees that he fights is his mom was more than just a throwaway joke that actually came into play around the climax.
Yep.
Well, like a split second until he was crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's different than any other show that we get nowadays because people die and they don't get resurrected. The stakes are real.
Exactly. You don't usually get
sad.
that. Like, often you don't get that out of Marvel movies. Like, take a lot of the people in Endgame, for example. Most of them came back.
Yeah. But you know what? I recently binged Harry Potter for the first time ever, and people die in that shit too. I'm like, whoa, this is serious. We don't have
the Harry
movies like
Potter
this
movies?
now. Yeah, I just binged them all.
Whoa,
I
people
seen-
dying in a world of dangerous monsters and magics, and one guy that wants to destroy the world. What are the odds?
I know, unbelievable. Especially in a kids show, they get really deep in that. Hey.
Yeah. It's actually not that uncommon when you watch a lot of Japanese kids shows or kids movies where characters die.
Don't even get me started. Holy shit! I could name so many.
Unless it's a Gamera movie.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Neverland kind of got me kind of hungry. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad.
What were your thoughts on how Inoue was handled, aka King Shark?
Well, he's the comedic relief. He's everybody's favorite. He's awesome.
Exactly.
And then have Sylvester Stallone in there, who a lot of the woke people don't like, and that's great. You don't get to see him play too many roles, but there's actually a role for him to play some sort of voice. It's freaking cool, man.
Exactly. He did great. I was able to tell he was Stallone after I was told Stallone was in the movie, but he also gave this innocent type of voice for the character that fit King Shark's nature of pretty much just knowing, eat this, eat that, until he discovered friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's the best part of the movie. He's everybody's favorite, though.
Yeah, he was funny, but he also had his tragedy to him, as we discussed earlier, where pretty much all he just wants to do is make friends. He discovers friendship because of the rat catcher, and he just wants to start making friends, and his said friends start biting him, and they just die.
It's super endearing.
Exactly. It plays with the heartstrings.
John Cena is actually pretty funny. I hate saying that about him because he's a China cuckboy, but John Cena when he plays himself, he can be pretty funny.
Yeah, I love the John Cena in this movie.
I was impressed with John Cena's performance as Peacemaker in the movie.
I liked him here than Fast 9.
He gave.
I've never seen Fast 9, and I don't plan to.
Don't.
Sam, I'm just out of all those movies.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? They're making a Fast 10.
I'm not surprised.
No.
They can keep going forever, I bet.
Yeah.
They can keep going forever if they wanted to.
My girl is obsessed with that series, and she doesn't care how many movies they come out with.
As soon as I saw they had like a space car, I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done.
Speaking
remember when Paul Walker died? My God.
Nope.
Oh no. I feel like they should have ended it right there with 7. 7 would have been a great point to have ended it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying.
And the way that they did that cheap shot at the end in the post-credit scene with him pulling up right there, supposedly, in the last Fast and Furious movie, my God, how low can you be?
Yeah, it was like, good God, come on, leave it alone.
Yeah, and that new Fast and Furious movie spawned a very ridiculous meme that was going around with the whole family. Bro. There was a few ones that made me laugh, I'll admit, but it's
that meme was fire, bro. That meme was awesome.
If we do a review of that,
it
I
was
will be
fucking
part of it.
ridiculous.
I'm not giving attention to those movies.
You hear that? You hear that, Kong? You got family in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
All right, what point of the movie are we on now?
Pretty much, we're not on any specific point of the movie. We're just discussing our thoughts on random spoilers that come to our mind. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to. Like I've said all my parts to it, so you guys go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, I got
whatever
nothing to
you
say
like,
for the
and
moment.
we'll discuss.
This really is unscripted. It's really just random.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought maybe we were
completely
going in a particular order or something like that. But okay, Harley Quinn. My gosh, she's so hot.
I agree. I miss her. I missed the way she was dressed in the last movie though, because it was more revealing.
Oh God, yeah, they had to fix that up and ruin it for everybody, didn't they?
I never liked that outfit.
Wait, what?
I didn't like that outfit. I don't like skimpy outfits.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I understand not liking skimpy outfits, but there is some to be revealed. It's about a balance.
I don't care. Like, for me, it just kind of comes off as fan service. I'm like, I don't care how attractive this person is. Put her in a cool suit. Harley Quinn's had really cool costumes before. I like those costumes.
Yeah.
My favorite costumes are like Arkham Asylum. Well, the costumes like the Arkham series games. It's cool. It had the color scheme. It had a bunch of gadgets thrown into it. It had the giant hammer she had, which she hasn't really used in a lot of movies. I think she used it in just Birds of Prey. But still, like, I don't need like skin tight, super short shorts. Like, I get nothing seeing that. It's just like, all right, I'm sure for you guys, that's fine. For me, it's like, I don't care. I get nothing out of that.
You know, I bet you enjoyed seeing John Cena's bulge in his briefs.
Not really. I don't care about that either.
It's okay. We won't tell anyone, bro. It's 2021. You can come out. It's all right.
I have no idea what we are.
Oh God.
I mean, you should probably. I mean, like, come on, Pharaoh. It was like you should be used to like all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, you know, Egyptian hieroglyphics and all that. No, they didn't care.
The thing was, we lived in a desert where it's like 100 degrees normally. So yeah, we had to wear less clothing to deal with those things. Otherwise, my servants would have died of heat stroke. Many of them did, unfortunately, but they died for the greater good. So
some god you are.
Hey, that's why they died for the greater good.
People in deserts wear robes and stuff. Haven't you all seen Star Wars and Jawas? They wear robes to protect themselves from the heat.
Yeah, but they're monsters.
That's just not scientifically accurate.
We don't discuss Jawas, all right?
Yeah, Jawas are monsters.
Why?
Jawas are in a league all on their own.
What?
But it's Star Wars, the OG.
Why do you hate Jawas?
OG what?
Is it because of the Mandalorian or what?
No, it's because of the Disney trilogy, obviously.
Yeah, the Disney trilogy is.
They were barely
Disney
in there.
There's things I like about the Disney.
In fact, I don't even think they were in there.
In what?
Yeah, there's things I like about the Disney trilogy, like Yoda's classic look coming back, but overall it's not very good, and there are some aspects that's completely insulting. Now, The Mandalorian I do really like, and same with Rogue One. Those are good.
Space Western.
Yeah.
Rogue One, everyone just likes that because Darth Vader's in there. That's it.
Oh, but he's so cool. He gets his time to shine.
Yeah, it's like one of the
and
high
James
points.
Earl Jones as Vader.
Like Darth Vader is obviously like one of the high points, but Rogue One in itself is also still a good film.
I'll give that to Sosa. The Rogue One is a fun movie, but honestly, people remember the last third of that movie. Right when they're actually attacking, they're on the planet, they're getting the Death Star plans, Darth Vader's doing these things. People remember that part of the movie. The stuff before it, most people don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, and I liked everyone in the cast. I love Donnie Yen, but they made him blind for no reason, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Like Donnie Yen's always a fantastic actor. So
it takes me out of the realism. I have to suspend believability too much.
Wait, you're trying to put realism into a space action movie?
Yes, he's a martial artist.
Magic
That's important to me.
Yeah, where there's the Force, lasers, a giant F-off space station the size of a small moon, planetary shields. You're putting realism.
Something Elon Musk won't have done in 20 years.
Exactly.
Okay. You know what? This is my first time interacting with you, so we're learning. We're learning.
Emperor.
Well, but I'm a martial artist myself. I would do professional Muay Thai. So it's important to me.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Speaking of
we're gonna make you blind, and then we're just gonna see just how well you can do it.
Nope. Wouldn't be able to do very well. The only thing I could ever do is hope that you get in close enough to where I could grapple with you.
Oh, come on. I bet you can pull something
Or
off.
we could expose you to chemicals and you can end up like Daredevil.
Yeah.
Hey.
Give yourself more credit.
I'll keep it real on everything. Like, I don't give myself too much more credit. No, I'd rather not get exposed to chemicals. Thank you. It's not worth the risk.
I was kidding anyway.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were serious.
No, yeah.
Montu would watch over you as you fought, okay?
Say that again?
Montu would watch over you as you fought. You'll be okay.
Montu?
Montu, Montu, the Egyptian god of war.
Oh, I feel so much better now.
Horus.
There's a lot of
That solves
redundancies in our culture.
Montu.
Yeah, you got too many. You got too many gods, my guy. Like, you need to I think there should be like a culling.
It
My
depends
God,
on
my God is
which city you went, which city you go to, and which pharaoh was in charge at the time. Some pharaohs decided we're getting rid of all of these old gods for these new ones, and then some people are like, we don't like these new ones. We're going back to the old ones.
My God is Harvey Cthulhu and Doomcock. No, those are my gods.
My
Y'all know
God
who
is
those are?
Godzilla.
Hey,
We'll give you that.
Y'all know who that is, right?
We don't know who your people are. No, we know who Cthulhu is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harvey Cthulhu. Y'all need to go and look up Doomcock whenever y'all are done on YouTube.
I have,
Is he a
and
human?
I sort of regret it.
I'll
Why?
look it up right now on my phone.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's I know he's been right about like the rise of Skywalker and a few other things, but I don't.
Okay, Harvey
Well, I also
Cthulhu.
heard-
He wears this. You know, my memory's dog shit, so I can't remember the name. But he wears this hat. Is he a
Yes.
YouTuber?
Yeah.
And
Okay, Harvey. Oh, Harvey Cthulhu. Yeah, I know who that is. I also
Is he
recognize-
actually a Cthulhu?
Yeah.
he's the doll.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually a Cthulhu?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well-
The little that's the little teddy thing plushie.
That-
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Okay, then yeah. Why did you just say
What?
that?
Do you watch Decker's Shadow and that long-haired creepy guy?
No.
Creepy.
God,
oh,
yeah.
Why would I
Oh,
watch
God,
a long-haired
TV Hulu.
creepy guy?
His name's that. There's Decker's Shadow, and he collaborates with a guy got that long-haired creepy guy. That long-haired
Dude.
creepy guy has that Cthulhu toy, and he makes it talk when he reviews movies with Decker and on his solo
Yeah,
videos.
it's called Chibi Thulu, and apparently it's the actual
Yeah.
Cthulhu trapped in a plush body.
Which that thing is adorable. We have considered buying that thing a couple times. We just haven't. It's like it's on our list of things we'd want to get one day.
I've met Cthulhu
Yeah.
once in the vast emptiness of space.
Hmm.
He's very emotional.
I get that.
Anyway.
Why don't y'all have y'all space cams on?
Cause Osiris is my face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What? That dragon? His name is Osiris. He represents us.
I can barely
The only
see.
Osiris that anyone cares about is the one from Destiny 2. So
I don't play Destiny. We don't play Destiny 2.
The
And
underworld.
what anime profile pic is that?
I made that. Thank you very much.
Oh, I can tell.
And we won this dragon, rightfully, in high school against a kid at a water pistol game.
Oh, I thought it was a claw machine.
No, nope. We won Osiris through sheer victory.
Hey, you know, fair is fair, and fair is fair.
You know,
in
I can
video
see
games.
you. I can see you doing a water pistol game with someone as an adult over that plushie.
Yeah, knock the kid over.
No. We won him fair.
Oh. Sorry, my daughter needs a prize. I'll do whatever it needs.
No.
It's gonna be like
Earn
Bruce
that
from
win
Despicable
back.
Me. Just pull out an actual real fucking ray gun and just obliterate the entire stand.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Knocked over.
Anyway, anything else you'd like to discuss about Suicide Squad, Sosa?
I mean, it's nice to see Idris Elba finally getting a good role for himself instead of the dog crap he's been put in lately. Like Cats. My God.
Oh, cats! Oh,
We do not
God.
talk about cats.
No,
Give that.
Well, I just
Yeah.
brought it up.
I only
no, you made a mistake. Let's
I-
pretend that film never exists.
Is there an abort in this conversation somewhere?
A board?
Yeah.
I'll end it.
Thank you. Thanks,
um,
JSP.
I was interested in seeing the movie, but I only watched the Nostalgia Critic review instead.
Yeah,
we're not going into cats. It is
No,
good
we
seeing
are
Idris
not.
All right,
Elba.
we'll stop.
Yeah, fuck cats. But for speaking of Idris Elba, I really liked him in this. His performance is very similar to what he gave in Pacific Rim. And the dynamic between Ratcatcher and him over time kind of reminded me of his father and daughter relationship with Mako in Pacific Rim. And I really liked him in that too. And if you guys have not seen Pacific Rim, I definitely recommend it. I love the first Pacific Rim. The second movie, Uprising's fun, but it's definitely a massive step down. The TV show.
One of the rare cases where the first is one of the cases where the first is better.
Yeah, I do enjoy Uprising. I think it's a decent popcorn flick, but it's a massive step down from the first. I think Pacific Rim: The Black, though, comes close to the first. The first is still the best Pacific Rim property, but Uprising
The Black is definitely a good little sequel series. I am excited for season 2.
Yeah, it rivals the first movie, but the first movie still ranks on top of best Pacific Rim stuff. Anyway,
sorry. I was just about to say who was, I don't remember her name, but that the FBI girl, the main character FBI girl who ended up shooting everybody in the room in the first one, who was so glad to see her get knocked the fuck out.
Oh, you're talking about
Waller?
Amanda Waller.
I was so happy to see that.
Dude, God. I felt so fucking like.
Yes, she was such a bitch. So when someone finally knocked her out, the people in the room were panicking, but I was like, good riddance. She's evil. But credit goes to the actress and writers for making her that hateful, because that means you were supposed to hate her. She was written to be garbage, and she was played to be garbage, and everyone did their part in making her hateable. So even when you hate a character, you gotta give them credit for that, because that was her whole point.
And you gotta
I don't have too much else to comment on the movie, though, but I will be back on your next show on Sunday if you haven't.
Oh, perfect. Would be glad to have you.
Yeah, but it'll be my 8 o'clock and your 9 o'clock.
Yes, it sounds good. Anyway, what do you give this movie? I give it a 9. Galactic gives it a 9. Forgotten Pharaoh gives it an 8. And JSP doesn't have any score for it, but he liked it. What was your score? 7.5. Okay, not bad.
Not bad.
Something seeable.
It still ranks above average.
Yeah. Like I'd say 6.5 to 7 is like the average. 7.5.
For me, 5 out of 10 is average. 6 and 7 are good. 8, 9, and 10 are great. That's
5 is like bare minimum before I say don't watch it.
Yeah.
I always use the school grades measurement. 70 is passing,
makes sense.
Understandable.
Okay.
For me, I use 5 out of 10 as middle of the road. But
that's probably simpler.
I just use stars.
Anyway, that was it for this episode.
Wait,
Please go subscribe.
Hold on.
Please go subscribe.
I didn't say what I thought about the film yet.
You didn't? Oh.
No.
Oh, okay, JSP.
Go ahead.
All right.
Slow down.
I'm sorry. There's a lot going on in my brain right now.
So I had some too, but it hasn't kicked in yet.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. I thought the music in the first movie was more memorable, but I just thought the music in this movie was all right, and I'm still pissed they killed Captain Boomerang. And
well, you see, they spent all the money on the soundtrack in the first one instead of the story, and that's why it had such good music, but such a crappy villain.
Thank you.
And they also paid some money on Harley Quinn's good clothing on the first one. Probably paid a lot of money for that too, to show off that ass of hers.
She doesn't really have much of an ass. She's just hot in the face.
I'm fine. This isn't really the place to talk about it, but I'm fine with pretty much a variety of sizes of butts. Big, small, average. As long as they're not a bag of bones or Shamu, I'm fine.
That's why I don't watch anime anymore.
Bro, there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to both. If you get a girl with completely flat butt, it doesn't stop you at all for going in as deep as you can, and I freaking love it sometimes.
Yeah.
Just nothing in your way.
Yeah.
Right,
Big booty chicks, you gotta roll it back, and you got grab that and clamp, and it's just multitasking. It's too much. Too much.
JSP, what are you trying to say?
I'm sorry.
It looks like you're trying to say something.
No, I was letting him finish.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. We just get off in rants.
What was I gonna say? Okay. I did enjoy it, but at the same time, there are times where I felt like the humor was overused, like the scene I mentioned earlier with Milton and whatever. You probably don't know. Do you remember who that is, Sosa, or no? There was this character he called Milton. He was with them, and then he died. And
oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the
See, no one
extra
remembers
random
Milton.
normal dude.
Harley Quinn. Yeah, Milton.
Milton.
Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna give this movie like 3.5 stars
Out
Out of
of
5 or out of 10?
out of 5.
okay.
Okay.
And
Anyway.
I did enjoy it. I'll probably have to watch it again just to appreciate it a bit more. And speaking of so what you said about John Cena earlier, after like Bloodsport like fatally wounds him, in my head I almost expected him to say like "commie bastard" or something, but that wouldn't have made any sense. But people in the audience would have figured it out. They probably wouldn't have, but
I would have loved nothing more than that. But you know what? I'm telling y'all guys, we might be starting to get better movies because China's not buying these films like they used to. And we might be starting to get more American films. I can't wait.
Define better in that case scenario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Define it?
I heard like
Because
Eternal.
better is kind of like subjective to everybody.
Well, if you just make some sort of crappy action film that China will allow, they make all their money off China, so they don't have to make it for us, and they censor it for China over there. If they have to rely on America, they have to make more shows like The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Heck yeah, please.
I heard movies like The Eternals was gonna like pander to Bollywood or whatever, and that's what I heard or whatever. I probably shouldn't.
I had no idea what's going on with that one, but I'll be like, I'm gonna see it anyway, knowing me. But the Eternals are one of those like Marvel groups that I do not care about. They're like the Inhumans. They are just somewhere in the world. I do not pay attention to them. I've tried reading their comics a couple times, and it never holds my interest. I'm like, I want to try this. Let's just see how it goes. I got nothing out of it.
I'm gonna like give Shang-Chi a watch because it's been 13 years since we've seen Abomination, and he probably won't be in the film that long. But
oh no,
got my attention.
That's you have no idea.
Shang-Chi is actually a film I've been looking forward to since I saw the trailer to it because I think it looked pretty fun. I love martial arts movies, and also just between you and me, the whole stream, I fucking love Asian chicks, so that one.
No Asian chicks to be had in that movie, bro. There's not.
Overall, I think I want to go see Shang-Chi just because, again, it looks like a good film. It seems to have a phenomenal cast as well.
Yeah.
And, of course, overall, just want to see Abomination back in action, man. Like, where the fuck has he been?
Yeah,
The acting is good. The martial arts scenes are also pretty good because I'm a big critique, like I said on that before. They take old school kung fu and do it pretty well, so props to them.
I would love to see how well they do with that. I would like Shang-Chi usually has a lot of he has some fun series going for him. He has a really good ongoing series right now that's pretty entertaining. So I'm like, if they keep going with this, I would love to see more Shang-Chi in the world because there's a lot of martial artists going around and they botched it with Iron Fist. So I'm like, you know what? They know what they did wrong with Iron Fist. Maybe we can do it better with Shang-Chi, who's essentially a better version of him anyway.
I don't know much about Iron Fist aside from seeing him in some video games like Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Not sure how many of you played it. And I also watched that one Spider-Man show, The Ultimate Spider-Man, which also had him. But Shang-Chi, I definitely have more interest in him than I have Iron Fist because I love martial arts films. I've been watching a lot of stuff like Kung Fu Hustle, Bruce Lee movies, Jackie Chan films recently that just has me wanting to check out more like it. And seeing the trailer, it looks like one of the more fun Marvel movies. And I do enjoy the MCU, but this is one of the ones that has me interested in watching it in a theater because I think it looks super entertaining and it should cleanse my martial arts thirst. Because I've been in a massive mood for stuff like that and Kurosawa films lately.
Honestly,
of course, we'll be reviewing it on this show. Finish GSP.
Honestly, the only films I had interest in for the MCU were Black Widow, which I already saw, Spider-Man, and what was Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot I still want to see. Although I could have been happy if they just ended at the Infinity Saga. Be like, cool, wrapped up all nice and easily. A couple of the movies they're doing now, I'm like, okay, I'm happy. But I'm like, I need a really big hook to try and figure out what their next big saga is going to be. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, I'm good if I just don't watch any more MCU movies. I feel like I've gotten enough after the Infinity Saga.
I like that for the most part, but this one really catches my interest because I love martial arts films, and I think it looks super entertaining.
No, I get you. Do y'all keep? I heard 3 people talk about him. So, do y'all want Abomination spoilers?
No.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We'll discuss those when we review it.
He doesn't have like a major role in the movie, but God damn it, let me enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Like that was gonna be like I'm a little upset they spoiled it, but it's like, oh cool, that's gonna be a fun cameo to see how he either like warped more or if he's even just a one-off fight. I don't even mind if that happens. Just seeing him around would be like, cool, this is in the world again still.
No, it's not even that. I said nope, it's not even that.
Like the fact he's in the movie means he's still technically in the world. Even if it is a multiverse error, it's still part of the world.
I'm just gonna say this: no spoilers.
No, just stop.
No spoilers, no spoilers. But the trailer is misleading.
Well, yeah, all trailers. Trailers are supposed to be misleading.
With trailers.
It's at the end, isn't? No. Don't answer that. Son of a...
No, the post credit scene is gonna have y'all's eyes rolling, like oh.
I knew that.
That's all we want to know, Sosa.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I meant the post credit scene.
You know about it?
I heard like people had to see it, but from what I might disagree with you if I see it myself, but I have to see it for myself.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that tends to happen with a lot of trailers, which I am not too surprised about, which is why I don't pay attention to a lot of them anymore.
I mainly get excited for trailers with something to a Godzilla movie I'm watching. Like King of the Monsters, Shin Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Kong. They all got my excitement going. That's because it's no secret that I'm a massive Godzilla nerd, even wearing my Godzilla hat right now.
So you like Chuck the Cybercuck, huh?
Who's that?
You don't know him, bro?
Nope.
All right, well, look him up. Chuck the Cybercuck. He probably has about 70,000 to 100,000 subscribers at this point. But he is big into Godzilla videos.
Oh, okay, I'm going to subscribe to him right now.
Hell yeah.
The Cybercuck. Who's gonna put cuck as their name though?
I'm pretty sure, but I believe he has a Super Saiyan Rose channel icon thing.
Yeah, I found it. Just subscribe to him right now.
Yeah, and check out his videos. He does great Godzilla breakdowns.
I will, because I love Godzilla movies and I love watching Godzilla YouTubers. If you want to watch some other Godzilla YouTubers, you should check out Up From the Depths. He's a really good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna shout out. This is for everybody right here. Since we mentioned Black Widow earlier, there is a channel called Mauler. that y'all should
Oh.
definitely look up. He has like a gas
his video
mask.
is like almost 5 hours long.
Yeah, bro, but his breakdowns are so freaking good, and he just put one out, a Black Widow, like 2 days ago, and it's so good.
I'd have to check him out.
No,
I
dude.
heard Black Widow is terrible, though.
I'm not getting into that tonight. It's
I didn't
11 right now in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought it was, eh.
There are
I heard
so
the
many good things about it, and but I love the acting. Everyone gets along good. The interactions are good. But
Yeah.
for the love of God, the freaking story is such crap.
Yeah, it's
I
basically
heard the
Winter
best-
Soldier.
It
I
was
heard the best thing
definitely
about
way
it
out of-
is Scarlett
it was
Johansson's
overhyped is what it
nuts.
was. It was overhyped is what it was.
What
I heard-
what did you say, Spacezilla?
I heard the best thing about it is Scarlett Johansson's ass shots.
I mean, Scarlett has body, yeah, but I mean, it's nothing that bad.
There's
The-
merit in the movie, is the thing. Like, if it was made a couple years earlier, I'm pretty sure it would have done better. But I'm pretty sure it got caught in some weird development hell. It got delayed for a while, and the anticipation kept growing. Where it's like, well, we got. I was like, oh, okay. This didn't entirely feel like some of the wait for it. What they did with my favorite character bothers me, but as someone who can separate out comic from movies, it makes sense for the movie. So I'm like, all right, I'm okay with that. But some people are like, this is a Taskmaster, rabble, 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 rabble.
Oh god, yeah.
No, it isn't. So there's that.
One of my favorite memes of all time is getting all the shoulder and head shots of everything Taskmaster's in, and then when she takes the mask off, her shoulders then, and the comparison is just hilarious. Like,
yeah.
I'm hoping they do more with that character later, just because it didn't have a personality in the movie, but now it can. So I would love to see them continually be in the world somewhere. That'd be nice, but like I said, I don't want to get into that. I think I'm going to start heading off because it's getting late for me and I got works in the morning, okay?
Well,
All right.
anyway, the stream's about to end anyway. Anyway, that was it for this episode. Please comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video, please hit that like button, share it around, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell for notifications to get notified on all of my future content. And go and check out my social medias. All links are in the description down below. Also, go check out my boy Sosapotence, aka Andrew Sosa. Really good guy that makes some pretty in-depth content. So
Yeah.
links to his channel.
Sosapone 300 is the channel name.
Yeah, links are in the description below to his channel. Galactic, check out his gaming channel too. Well, like I said in the last episode, he doesn't have much on there, but he did bring some pretty fun Resident Evil streams, and more will be coming to his channel. Forgotten Pharaoh and IMJSP does not. Forgotten Pharaoh and IMJSP don't really have any thing to plug.
Well,
So-
I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't
just here.
uploaded in months.
Hey, I'm gonna hit y'all up through Joey. I'm gonna hit y'all up. He's gonna send me y'all's links, and I'll have him send y'all
Hold on,
my
Joey, let me
links.
send you my YouTube thing.
Will do.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are all in a chat together with the exception of JSP, but I could add him to the said chat to make this easier.
Yeah, do that, and then point out which ones are who to me.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you. Actually, I'm gonna say it right now. I don't know if they want their names used publicly, so I'll wait till the stream's over.
Sure.
So that being said, this is Daikaiji Spacezilla leaving the building.
Ciao.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that was fun.